Hey everybody, welcome back. So the console.log function. In the examples, I used console.log to output values. Most JavaScript systems, including all modern web browsers and Node.js, provide a console.log function that writes out its arguments to some text output device. In browsers, the output lands in the JavaScript console. This part of the browser interface is hidden by default, but most browsers open it when you press F12 or on a Mac Command Option I. You can also use Command Option J. I think Command Option I actually does inspect, which opens up the console, but not exactly the one that we would want. So if I hit Command Option J, that happens. This is the console right here. I don't care about that. It's on the side here. You can adjust it. There's actually part of a course which is not related to this at all, which is relatively useful, but I'm not going to plug it here. That does show you a little bit more about this, but this is one of those things like everything. Just play with it for a little while. So if we console.log hello world, then it says hello world in the console, which is fantastic. The other place that we would do that would be in our REPL. So if we write console.log here and we hit run, yeah, it outputs it over here in the console output. And there's one last thing that they were going to mention. Search through the menus for an item named developer tools or similar. And so for that one, it's going to be pretty simple. We go up here to the top. We go up here to, actually, I don't know what this is called. But anyway, this top portion of your screen on a Mac, if we go to, I think it's View, and then Developer, and then Developer Tools, and that'll allow us to get the same thing. So that's cool. Search through the menus. When running the examples or your own code on the pages of this book, console.log will output, console.log output will be shown after the example instead of in the browser's JavaScript console. So if we click on this, it'll allow us to run the code. If we hit Command Enter, it'll run it. The value of X is 30. And they're basically just telling us that this portion right here, that is the console output. Okay. Quick note here on the console.log. They seem to have written a string here, a comma, and then a variable. So what's actually happening here is the console.log function will allow you to pass multiple arguments. And so this is an example of that. We separate the arguments with commas. So the first argument is this string, the second argument is this X, and console.log actually has as part of its functionality to output separated by comma values, just with a space in between them. We'll come back to why that might be important later, but this can give you the option of labeling your console.log outputs. So what I mean by that is something like, well, precisely what they did here, but instead of saying X, maybe we would put a colon there. In any case, the output's going to reflect whatever we wrote, as you'd imagine. Though binding names cannot contain period characters, console.log does have one. This is because console.log isn't a simple binding. It is actually an expression that retrieves the log property from a value held by the console binding. We'll find out exactly what this means in Chapter 4. Yeah, and so will we. Anyway, that's it for this section. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.